Hello there, this is future Arden coming into this video so that when I say something like this, I just hated females. I found them so gross. There's not a shitstorm of hate on my Twitter. I made this video one day when I had the epiphany that I never really had many female friends in my life. This video is the sad reason why. I am a feminist. The Arden that I describe in this story was very much so anti-feminist, but the reason why I wanted to make this and tell this story is because I wanted to share my own journey in accepting my gender and my femininity. It means that I don't like any of the girlfriends that I have to this day. I have amazing girlfriends now, and I think they're a huge reason why I am more likely to have female friends. Basically, this story is not going to be nice to women at first, but I want you to know that it turns around, and it's something that I felt like I needed to share just because I know there are a lot of other women that struggle with the idea that being female is a negative thing. On that note, I'm going to assume that as you watch the video, you will now know that Curtin Arden loves the ladies. Huge feminist. Love my lady friends. None of the past negativities that I felt hold any grip on my viewpoints today. Okay, you have been coddled enough. It's time for the actual video, so here we go. This is the story of why I used to hate my gender and resent being a woman. So, from the beginning, growing up, I was always much closer to my male figures in my life. Like, I still love my mom to death. I love my sisters. But for the most part, my brother has nearly the exact same personality type as me, so I could relate a lot to how he is and what he enjoyed, and he was just old enough and sweet enough that he would let me be like an annoying little sister and like watch him play video games, and I loved playing Pokemon, and I would steal his Game Boy all the time, and he never got mad at me except when he always got mad at me. I always enjoyed being around him, and it was the same way with my dad. My dad actually has a very opposing personality type to me, so whenever I had a question about life or I needed help, I felt like I could go to him because he would have the exact opposite opinion on something that I would, or maybe a different viewpoint, not necessarily an opposing opinion, but just something to make me think. Not to say that I didn't love my mom. I love my mom, and I loved my mom growing up. Bestie. My mom really instilled in me that being beautiful is not a priority over being smart or interesting or engaging or whatever else, or friendly or nice. Like, she was such a good mom in the sense that she never told me that being beautiful was a priority. And not even until 8th grade did I think about changing my appearance, really. I always kind of felt like I was an ugly girl, or maybe, I don't know, not really an ugly girl, but I felt like that's not where I held my value, and that's not where other people held my value either. So in middle school, I had a couple girlfriends that were a little bit girlier, but they still hadn't discovered themselves. And those girls, now when I'm looking back on it, were deeply insecure. Like, they had trouble with their appearance constantly. They thought they were always overweight, which actually led me into an eating disorder. But in general, I felt like these girls were my best friends, even though in a lot of ways they were very catty and would talk behind each other's backs, and in general, they were just shitty people, which is what middle school does. It breeds shitty people. And those people are probably wonderful, delightful people now, but they were shitty in middle school. I'm surrounded by these girls that hate themselves, they don't like the way they look, and they completely base how they feel about other people on what they look like. And those were my friends. Those are the people that I just hung out with. So the summer before high school rolls around, I start my YouTube channel, and that's also when my ICD really kicked in. I just kind of started exhibiting obsessive behavior. I felt really insecure about my friend group because I always felt like this one group of girls was choosing either me or another girl, and it always felt like the other girl was winning. I didn't ever feel at home with the friends that were girls, and I also wasn't really hanging out with a lot of guys either. I just didn't really have friends. So that's when I started my YouTube channel, which is like so sad, but still, it led to good things. And then high school rolls around. As a freshman in high school, I thought I was gonna have a lot of fun. I thought that was gonna be my year. I had moved up, the guys got hotter, as if every guy in my high school was nearly undateable because of misogyny. When I turned 16, which was pretty much when I went into high school, I really started caring about my appearance. And part of the reason why was because I was watching a lot of beauty vloggers on YouTube. I kind of felt like I had this ugly duckling phase where I came into my own as a female and I felt very girly, and it was like a first time thing for me because before I'd always been wearing cargo shorts and like I didn't really, you know, care that much about all that stuff. But I think the friends that I had around me also kind of pushed me into this more feminine world, which I love. The thing that I didn't like was that the entire time, the reason why we were doing all these things was not for ourselves. It was because we felt like we were less than we should have been. Like every time we went shopping, the only comments we made were either about how thin we looked in something or how fat we looked in something. It was never about something like, this makes me feel good. So the first time I really ran into issues with having girls that were friends was when I was a freshman in high school and I had just gotten a boyfriend and I didn't care about him. I didn't care about him at all, and I realized I had made a mistake, so I wanted to break up with him, so I did. It wasn't like I did it maliciously. I was just like a dumb teenager. I just didn't want to date him anymore, so I just didn't. Then I had another guy who like kind of wanted to date me, but I rejected him. I didn't really want to be a part of anything. And he started a rumor that I was a slut. The funny thing is, I really must have been internally against my gender, because that didn't really upset me. The fact that he called me a slut didn't really upset me. But those friends of mine that were in that friend group also called me a slut and said they didn't really want to hang out with me anymore, and that, yeah, we just weren't gonna be friends anymore. And these are like friends that I had since 4th grade. That's a long time. That's not like a short time. That's like 5 years of friendship completely smashed because of some male opinion of me. And on top of that, the way they went about it was terrible, because they texted me about it, and then when I called, it was like this thing where they all had a shit show like argument about me, about how terrible I was because this one dude didn't like me. And it was sad because these girls chose one guy's opinion over a girlfriend's opinion that they'd known for 5 years. It was just this weird thing where instantly after that happened, I hated girls. I hated girls. I was like, girls are evil, they're awful, they only hurt your feelings, they abandon you. I had all of these issues in my head where I was like, these people suck. I just hated females. I found them so gross. And they're like, and that was because I was taking out all of my anger on these people that were mean and making it girls that were mean, which is not true. It's not that girls are mean, it is that people can be mean. So this happens and like I just feel crushed. That summer was probably one of the worst summers of my life, which is a dramatic statement, but probably true because I have a wonderful life otherwise. I was alone. I got way too thin. And if you look at my past YouTube videos, you will know which videos I am talking about. I also had no hair on my eyebrows or my eyelashes because I had pulled them all out. And I was generally very unhappy. And every time I felt miserable or I felt bad about myself, I blamed these girls. Online also, I was on Reddit a lot, and that was a very male forum. And I got these constant images of girls just being shitty people because guys are so bitter about things that happen with girls. But I believed them, and I started having this very like MRA view of girls, which was weird because I am one. It makes no sense. I was getting poisoned against my own gender because of what I was reading online and because of the experiences I had had. And to be honest, I lived with that throughout high school. And if a girl asked me to come over or asked me to spend the night or something like that, I would find an excuse to not hang out with them because I had been so scarred from this one group of girls that I had just never gone back. And it wasn't until I moved to LA and like I moved in with Lauren, who was my first roommate actually, that kind of changed, because Lauren is such a girly girl, like, and not in a negative way. She's got such like a raw, crude sense of humor, but she's also this like great female person. Her mom's really strong. We would go out, we would dress up, we would like hang out, and then our next door neighbors were Jen and Andrea, so we would hang out with them, and like it was just like this thing where I was like, oh my god, I have girlfriends. Like, I have girlfriends. This is basically a message to any of you teenage girls who are saying to yourself right now, I'm not like other girls. I don't relate to anyone in my grade, blah, blah, blah. You will find those girlfriends that you love, even if you're a tomboy, even if you don't like makeup and doing your hair. I am such a rare case, but I'm speaking to people who felt like me in high school and felt like you were betrayed by your gender. That's just not true. People are people, regardless of what gender they are. People are people. I don't know why I felt the need to make this video. I think I just had like this sudden realization that I had such a problem in my life with females for no reason. and I'm glad that I finally figured it out. If you have anything to add on this topic, this crazy weird topic, yeah, feel free to comment down below and let me know what you think. I'm just glad that I could let that out, let that bad energy out, because I feel so much better now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys for the next video. Bye!